Hello students, welcome to our today's online session from the common module Professional Image and Etiquettes. Etiquette in Business and Social Settings Unit 5 by Keshav Gogoi, Food and Beverage Service Course Trainer. Learning Objectives. After this unit, you should be able to explain the importance of observing rules of etiquette and its appropriate form in social exchanges. Describe how introductions are carried out. Describe how messages and feelings are expressed in nonverbal communication. Identify the purpose of social conversation. And explain the do's and don'ts of making a social conversation. Here we will learn the form of address. Addressing the other party is a sensitive issue, both culturally and socially. Not done properly, it shows the lack of cultural and social respect and grooming. This affects your credit in the relationship to follow. For such as to address a man, we use Mr. To address a single woman or whose marital status is unknown, we use Miss. To address a married woman, we use Mrs. To address a young girl below 18 years, we use Miss. Always use the title for someone who is or has been an ambassador, governor, minister, judge, general, or doctor, even when retired. For example, we can take Good evening, Dr. Gogoi. I am Mr. Utpal. I am one of the participants in your earlier workshop on managing stretch. A given name is a person's first name, which is given at birth in addition to the surname family name. Depending on his or her race, the surname may precede or follow the given name. Always try to address the other party formally by using the person's family name and not by their given or first name. Now here we'll discuss on the types of greetings. So there are few types of greetings. It is practiced by various cultures to show respect and acknowledgement. Using the wrong form of greetings may lead to embarrassment and be seen as rude. Many times try to follow the lead of the other party to avoid using the wrong form of greetings. Here are the different greetings from the different cultures. First one, French. Handshake are quick, single, up and down pumps. Do not kiss on the cheek but just touch the cheek and kiss air. Australia and New Zealand. Handshake are the main form of greetings. Appreciate informal manners but not strongly express emotion. China. Handshake are the main form of greetings. There is little eye contact in public. Dislike being interrupted during a conversation. Japan. Bowing is a traditional greeting. No direct eye contact. Overt displays of emotion are unwelcome. Malaysia. Men and women will shake hands amongst the Chinese, but not for the Malays and Indian. India. Men do not touch women formally or informally. Indian women will shake hands with foreign women, but not men. Indonesia. A handshake plus a slight nod is customary for greetings. Congratulating or parting. Men do not touch women in public. Thailand. They greet with their hands held together, as if in prayer and the head nodded in a slight bow. Proper handshakes. The handshake is the most common form of greetings in a business setting. A good handshake will speak volume about your professionalism, credibility, and confidence. A proper handshake. Extend your hand and grip the other person's hand web to web, and your thumbs are facing straight up. Shake just a couple of times in a vertical up and down motion. And the handshake. So what to avoid during handshake? Knuckle grinding implies aggressiveness. So how to fix it? Hold the handshake as firm as you would ripe a tomato, without squeezing out the juices. Limp fish implies insincerity. How to fix it? Be sure to make contact with the webbed part of the hand, between the forefinger and the thumb. Hanger-on implies invasion of private space. So how to fix it? If you tend to hold on too long, take a mental note and count to hold no more than 3 seconds. If it is done to you, release grip gently and tap their shoulder with your left hand and release both hands together. Sweaty palms implies nervousness. How to fix it? Rub your hands with alcohol wipe before a meeting. Sip such tea to reduce sweat and keep a tissue or handkerchief in your pocket to dry off before a shake. When not to shake hands? When the other party's hands are full and will be a big inconvenience to put everything down, and when the other party is of a certain culture or a religion. Exchange of name cards. The exchange of name card or business card is a formal self-introduction with the aim of remembering the other person's names and role to aid future correspondence. Name cards are usually exchanged right after the handshake. The name card is a representation of the person, so how you treat the name card reflects the level of respect you have for the person. And the exchange of name card is an invitation to establish communication with the other party. The proper way to exchange a name card or a business card. Always exchange the name card with both hands. The card should face the person receiving in a manner that he or she can read. When receiving a name card, do not pull the name card away too fast and read out the person's name to clarify pronunciation. What to avoid during the name card exchange? Placing the name cards on the back pocket, writing notes on the name card, and keeping the name card too early. Now here we are in our second objective of our lesson, how introduction are carried out. So making introduction. The goal for making introduction is to provide a general background information about each other in order to give a common ground to carry on a conversation. A graceful introduction will help you project a good first impression to others. Others will feel respected and included into the conversation. Cubicle and office etiquettes. The cubicle or office of someone is seen as a private space for someone to work in. A person's cubicle can say a lot about the person. If the cubicle is decorated, bright and cheery, a lot of times so is the person's character. But cubicles are just a demarcation of a space shared by a lot more others, and so what we can do can affect the others in the same office. For example, do not play music too loud as it will disturb the people around. Another point to note is not to interrupt someone while they are on the phone or talking to someone while you approach the cubicle. Allow them to finish their conversation before starting on your agenda. Internet use, social media etiquettes, cyberloafing. Internet has become an essential part of both our social and professional life. This availability to access has created an avenue for us to use the internet to connect to our online social life at work, and it's tempting. Using the internet for other than work during office hours is known as cyberloafing. The messages sent over the internet or social media has a limited or no emotion attached. Thus, the messages are open to the receiver's interpretation, as emotions are usually not demonstrated as the words are being read. There are few points to note while using a social media, like do not type in capital letters while writing a mail. This is usually implied shouting and rude. Use please and thank you. Remember to use these polite words, as even short information can be seen as orders. Show respect when writing and then explain. It is easy to read with the wrong meaning. Always write in a positive manner with pleasant phrasing. How introduction are carried out. Self-introduction. So when introducing yourself, always use full name. Speak slowly and clearly and make a brief statement about what you are working, studying or your interest. This will help to create conversation talking points for the listener to continue. How we are going to introduce an individual to a group. First, if the group is having a conversation, wait till you can cut in during a pause in the conversation. Turn your body towards the newcomer. This will help to draw the attention of the group to the person to introduce. Then start by addressing the group and introduce as full name with salutation, and followed by a short introduction of the person. Lastly, hand over the introduction to the person or get the group to warmly welcome the newcomer. Non-verbal communication. How messages and feelings are expressed in non-verbal communication. It is very important to be aware of how these non-verbal attributes can affect what you are trying to say and keep the listener interested. Proximity. Each person is surrounded by a personal space. This space provides feelings of safety and calm. When strangers come to our personal space, it can make us feel uncomfortable. Orientation. The direction you face while you stand or it sits shows your sincerity and focus. Body posture. The way people hold themselves reflect how they feel at that moment. To portray confidence, stand with back straight, shoulders back and head up. Slouching, sticking belly out, stuffing hand in pockets, and folding arms suggest aggressive unease. Ankle crossed, arms holding themselves, jiggling the knees suggests insecurity and nervousness. Gaze. The amount of eye contact has to be varied. You should always staring at the other party and share your eye contact with the audience. If you are addressing a group, using a soft look at the person with no more than 3 seconds of contact at the eyes, move downward to the person's nose, mouth and back to nose and eyes. Facial expression. Facial expressions are closely tied to emotions and they are often involuntary. However, one can learn to control his emotions and develop a poker face. Always use personal discretion when deciding if you want to hide or show an emotion through your facial expression. Gesture. Gestures are visible bodily actions used to emphasize feelings and thoughts. Gesture used in moderation can come across as engaged, enthusiastic, and committed to a topic. Auditory communication. Always mind your tone, speed, and pitch when in a conversation. This will affect and has the ability to twist the intended intention the opposite direction. Social conversation. So what is the purpose of social conversation? The purpose of social conversation is to build rapport and establish a connection for the further interaction. Here are some do's that could help make a conversation effective, positive, and meaningful. So, do's. Number one, eye contact. The very first thing you would want to do before you start a conversation is to establish eye contact with the other party. By doing so, you are acknowledging the other party and show respect even before you start the conversation. Body language. When presenting yourself in a conversation, body language communicates amplified meanings without the actual intent of doing so. Facial expression. What the face says is the first thing that the other party receives this message. It affects credibility of both the speaker and the listener. Conversation starter. Finding the right topic to start the conversation is crucial, as the first minute of the conversation is a deciding factor of the other party is interested to continue in the conversation. Open questions. The first killer of any conversation is a closed question. When you ask questions which answers are either yes or no, don't know, or maybe, it does not provide the other party room for expression and continue in meaningful discussion. Be ready. Attend an event with topics suitable for the occasion. If you are at a car fair and you want to be prepared with information about the latest car and what is the latest development in the automotive industry. Being ready is also about knowing what you would be talking to and be able to participate in the conversation with information and views to contribute. Active listening. Active listening is done when you are fully concentrating on what the speaker is saying and not just hearing the words. These are the points that we don't have to do while doing a social conversation. Like one-word response means once someone is questioning you and you are answering in a one word like yes, yes, no, no, just like huge wall in the middle of the road of communication. If you respond in a full sentence, it creates an opportunity for the other party to proceed on the next topic. Next one, sensitive questions. In many cultures, there are always taboo topics or topics that can really press a sore area in other party's heart. In a social setting, we need to keep away from such sensitive topics. Suppose you can take the don't ask for salary or age or any personal relationship. Next one is distraction. In any settings, other activities can be running concurrently. There are two ways to handle the situation. Give full attention to the performance or do not be distracted by other activities. Taking an offensive stand. Everyone has a right to personal view to topics. Some people take few more seriously than others, so we do not know where they stand when we introduce a new topic. Thus, every time we introduce a new topic, we need to be careful not to offend the other party. So let us summarize what we have learned today. The importance of observing rules of etiquette and its appropriate form in social exchanges. How introductions are carried out. How messages and feelings are expressed in non-verbal communication. The purpose of social conversation. And do's and don'ts of making a social conversation. Dear students, I hope you have enjoyed your today's online class. Thank you. Take care.